Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Amsterdam Science and Innovation Awards 2021. I was hoping... I know that sounded a little bit exaggerated, but it's offline. Offline. And many of you are joining in online as well. Welcome to everyone watching from home or the office or trying to prevent to do actual work, joining in here. Great that you're here. This is the 15th Amsterdam Science and Innovation Award, which is an accomplishment in itself, I think. And in this event, we celebrate research-based innovations that originate from the Amsterdam region. A special mention for the founder of AmSIA, the Amsterdam Science Innovation Board. I peeked, and he's sitting right there. Please, a big warm applause for Walter Hoogland. Whom we have to thank that these awards are here in the first place. And now let me introduce you to someone who I guess doesn't need an introduction, but nonetheless, please welcome to our rather flat stage, which is good, the president of the Vrije Universiteit. Please welcome Mirjam van Praag.
Hi. Welcome. Welcome to all. Can you hear me like this? I think so, right? Welcome to all, and welcome to the jury, to Gigi, the chair, and welcome online. And this welcome is on behalf of ICSA, the ICSA board, and all participating Amsterdam Knowledge Institutes that are partnering with the Amsterdam Science and Innovation Award contest, AmSIA. So you have selected a very inspiring afternoon to visit here today. It's completely devoted to beautiful ideas, to innovations and applications that result from research and knowledge, and that are now or in the future having impact on society. This year, as Simon already said, we are celebrating 15 years of AmSIA, and you should perhaps take 15 years of AmSIA with some grain of salt. Walter Hoogland was already mentioned. The award was first organized in 2005 by the Faculty of Science, Mathematics and Computer Science, FNWI, of the University of Amsterdam at the Science Park. So that was then. And then it was called the New Ideas Award, right? And the current AmSIA program exists only since 2013. And we are grateful to the UvA that all the other partners could join. And today it's a joint venture between UvA, VU, Amsterdam, UMC, Amsterdam University of Applied Sciences, the Netherlands Cancer Institute, and various research institutes at the Science Park. So it's truly an Amsterdam thing now. And since its start, more than 600 ideas and innovations have been submitted here. And a few examples of the resulting startups from those ideas will be shown on the video in a moment. And perhaps you think, all these ideas and innovations cannot all be successful. And that's true, but often even ideas that cannot successfully be launched to serve society now are important preparations for the next steps and can be considered the shoulders of giants. And actually, I think after 15 years, it might be interesting to study the data and estimate the effect of the AmSIA program on success of the candidates who reach the finals. And probably part of the story would turn out to be that the jury selection is successful too. I have participated in the jury various times, and I can tell you they take it damn serious. So also today, I'm sure. So such a quantitative study, as I mentioned, of the effect of 15 years of AmSIA has not yet been performed, but various quotes might color what the findings would possibly show. For instance, former participants tell us that AmSIA helped to formulate our idea into a full proposal, or helped us finding a suitable co-founder, even during the event. That's good. Or after winning this award, we were contacted by several news agencies and also by multiple investors, even though we didn't have a company yet. Today, you will see the result from the jury process until today of this year's cohort. They selected 6 finalists, and in addition, we will also watch the pitches from 3 other finalists who were selected by a public voting procedure. And this year, over 8,500 people voted for their favorite idea. So maybe the candidates have many friends, but I think it has been taken seriously. So you will see the 9 finalists on stage in a moment. The ideas they pitch fall in 3 categories, based actually on the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations. And the categories are, so they're a bit taken together, they are aggregated into society, health, and environment and climate. And besides those 9 finalists, and we can actually call this a tradition already as well, we grant 3 impact awards in total, and 1 in each of those categories that I just mentioned. And we will grant those, or they will be granted, to very established researchers who have made a large societal impact with their research. Their names have been communicated already. In the category Society, Hale Gorashi will receive an award for her research and significant contributions to thinking about immigrant inclusion. Jeroen Kloek will receive the Impact Award in the category Environment and Climate for his research into climate adaptation in cities. And the Impact Award in the Health category will be awarded to Hergen Spitz. I haven't seen you yet, but for his research into B cells. And perhaps not everybody knows what they are, so these are the cells in the human body that make antibodies, but you will explain it much better. So, on behalf of all the AmSIA partners, I wish you a very inspiring afternoon. Thank you, and I give the floor back to Simon.
Thank you. Applause for Mirjam. Thank you, Mirjam. Thank you. And to show you a little bit of the history that Mirjam just talked about in terms of AmSIA, the 15 years of history, we'd like to show you a couple of, well, images and moving clips about what researchers have been doing thus far at AmSIA. And the movie is made, like all the movies today, by Karin Huiglen. Enjoy.
For 15 years, researchers have been competing in the Amsterdam Science and Innovation Awards, the Amsterdam competition for research-based innovations. It all started in 2005, when Professor Walter Hoogland launched the first edition, in which researchers of the University of Amsterdam competed against each other in the New Ideas Award. In 15 years' time, the AmSIA has received over 600 innovative ideas from Amsterdam-based researchers and students. More than 100 finalists have pitched on stage, and over 35 have received an award. The contestants have continued their journey towards entrepreneurship. Companies have emerged from their ideas, including Susphos that upcycles phosphate, Sirius Medical that localizes tumors, InCircular that stabilizes proteins, and AndyNorms that improves neuropsychological diagnostics, a mobile scanner for identifying the severity of a stroke, and a diagnostic instrument for understanding children's perceptions. Since 2018, The AmSIA has also celebrated distinguished researchers or research groups who have made a meaningful contribution to society with their research and innovations. It is an honor to have seen so many beautiful, innovative ideas over the past 15 years and to be able to celebrate more innovations in the future. Now, who will be our next winners?
It's so funny to see. I think I've been in 15 universities the past 2 weeks, and everything is like super sober. And now it's AmSIA and it's research, which is cool. So thanks for that one. Well, to actually be able to select someone who will actually win the Innovation Awards, we of course need a very distinguished jury. Luckily, we also have a very distinguished chairman. Please welcome her to the stage. She is a true leader of global entrepreneurship and innovation in her early years. Is it okay to say early years, right? It's okay?
But does this make me my later years right now?
Yeah. I was saying it and I was like, oh, wrong. But once, she was in several executive functions of tech startups here in Europe, but also Asia, Silicon Valley. She also heads MG team and is a speaker globally on many topics like entrepreneurship and innovation. Please welcome here Gigi Wang.
All right. Hi. I'm going to try this. Goedemiddag. That's as good as my Dutch. I've been coming here to work with entrepreneurs in Amsterdam for almost 10 years now, and that's as good as my Dutch has gotten. But I love Amsterdam. The innovations here are amazing. I see a bunch of entrepreneurs here. And they've gone on to be successful. And so it's really exciting to be on this jury. It's the second time I've been on the jury, and I am so lucky to work with amazing people who are on the jury. And September 14th, we came together to choose the finalists, and we thought it would only take an hour and a half, and we argued like late into the night because they were so good, and it was hard to have to make a choice. So I'd like to introduce some of them to you. I am not going to pronounce their last name, but their bios are all on the website. You can see more about them. You've got Geert from University, UMC. He actually came from this morning doing a life-saving Whipple surgery, which is one of the hardest surgeries to come here and be a judge. Okay? You got Raul from Incap Capital, and Incap is one of the largest, and I've worked with them before. They actually came and listened to pitches, and I think it's one of the best venture capitals, and Ralph is in their healthcare. So here's a real investor here with great investor feedback. And then Jill. So Jill was a winner from last year, and she is a lawyer at UvA, and she, last year, her project was about identifying human trafficking by analyzing financial data. So she's partnered with banks and governments to start looking at this and catching, okay, I'm not going to say a bad word. It's online. But anyways, catching bad people, okay? And then you've got Ruben here. Ruben is one of the internet pioneers here in the Netherlands. He has been in media technologies, worked with startups, and he consults with the government on entrepreneurship and internet stuff. And he's on the board of several organizations. But when I saw this, I knew he was a real pioneer because he's on the board of the Internet Society, which is one of the oldest internet organizations in the world. So, and we have one other person who is joining with us online because she wasn't able to make it in person, but she did not want to drop out. And that's Anna Marie. So Anna Marie is a professor at UvA in environmental stuff, and she's got really, I don't know how to say that in Dutch, but no, she really understands the chemistry, the environment, the weather, the climate, and had such great insights when we looked at the companies on September 14. So she's live streaming, watching this, and she is very actively engaged and has been sending questions and comments. So Anne-Marie, we miss you. We wish you're here, but we feel like you're here with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Gigi, and welcome, dear jury. I thought Gigi just said that Geert did a life-saving ripple surgery. But I think it was, what kind of surgery?
Whipple.
Whipple. Okay. Good. Like any self-respecting pitch event, we have a green room. And let's see what's happening in the green room, because that's where all the pitch candidates are currently feeling a lot of tension and nerves, because they have to pitch here in a couple of minutes. There they are. Let's go to Godfried. Tell us. They are laughing, I see.
Hi, Simon, and everybody in the room and everybody at home. We are here in the green room, where all the competitors are sweating and waiting for their turn to pitch their innovative ideas. Let's check out what the vibe is. And what the temperature is all about. Bit tensed?
Excited. Yeah, can't wait.
So what's your name and which organization are you from?
I'm Floris Roelofsen and I'm representing SignLab Amsterdam from UvA.
Okay. And how many times did you rehearse your pitch?
More than 10, more than 20, maybe more than 30.
Good luck, good luck. We go to the next one. So what's your name and where you're from?
Hi, I'm Daisy. I'm from Maze Hunter, and we're developing a game for children with dyslexia.
Have you been to Nemo before?
Yes, I've been. It was my childhood, so I have good memories here.
And next to you is...
Hi, my name is Imran Avcı. I'm an assistant professor at the VU University of Amsterdam, physics department.
And did you bring some support?
Yes, my project partner is here, Bob van Someren. He's in the audience.
And at home, anybody online watching?
Yes, my husband and hopefully my kids. They have to be out from school so that they can see it.
Good luck with the pitch. Simon, back to you.
Yeah, thank you, Godfried. Let's start with the first category. So the first 3 pitches are in the category Society. And the first pitcher, please welcome him to this stage. You just saw him, Floris Roelofsen.
I'm Floris Roelofsen, director of SignLab Amsterdam. We make software that translates text to sign language. For instance, welcome to Amsterdam is translated as welcome to Amsterdam. Existing translation tools like Google Translate already work for more than 100 spoken languages, but not a single sign language. And it's important to fill this gap because 70 million people in the world are profoundly deaf and rely on sign language for communication. It's also important to know that reading is often very difficult for deaf people. In the Netherlands, 68% of all deaf people is low literate, which means that, for instance, newspaper articles or subtitles on TV are very hard to follow. So they have very poor access to important information, education, and services, which leads to social inequality and very high levels of unemployment. Developing sign language technology is a huge challenge, but I believe that this is the right time and the right place to address that challenge. Building on all the recent advances in motion capture technology, animation and machine learning, and contributing to Amsterdam's thriving AI technology for people ecosystem. This past year, we've validated the first prototype and received a 1.5 million euro grant that enables the fundamental research that is necessary to develop this technology. We've also built partnerships with major companies in 3 different sectors, which are co-financing our work and will be our launching customers. Next year, we aim to acquire 2 million of additional funding for extensive data collection and high-end motion capture facilities, to launch our first products in 23 and scale up in 24 with the ambition to ultimately make all information and services accessible through sign language. Will you help to make this possible? Thank you.
So we have a couple questions, especially from the jury with the background in society. And I'd like to ask Jill first to, she had a question for you.
Yes, thank you, Floris. What I really wanted to ask you, and I know you can only answer briefly, but with whom have you tested this? So who were the deaf persons you've interviewed? Who were the low literate persons you've collected information from?
We have done a validation with a varied group of deaf people. So we've done a systematic test with about 25 people from all over the country, from different with different demographic properties, features. And we've compared our translation with a human signing a translation of the sentences. And so that way we've compared both the quality, the comprehensibility, and also the acceptance of this kind of technology.
Thank you, Floris. And then Ruben had a question for you.
Yeah, I have a very brief question. Thank you for this great presentation, Floris. My question is because we see that there's a lot of impact on society due to technology, such as big tech. So it's important that scientists are aware of the impact of their innovations to society. So how could you describe the following answer on this question? How could an application based on this innovation contribute to sustainable prosperity, sustainable wealth?
It contributes in many ways to sustainable wealth.
Yeah.
You're saying
Broad
specifically wealth.
Yeah.
Well, as I've highlighted, social participation of the deaf community is very problematic. The level of unemployment is just overwhelming. If we could make information, education, and services accessible to this group of people, that would increase their social participation and contribute to wealth and well-being of our society.
Yes, they are this strict with the time. Applause for Floris, please. Well done. Well done. And yeah, I have to interrupt to make it fair for everyone, obviously. The second pitcher in the category Society, please welcome to the stage Imran Afci. Go ahead.
Oh, hi, good afternoon. My name is Imran Afci. I'm a scientist, and together with my team, we developed Rapid Photonics. This is a technology, it's a prototyping technology to make these tiny photonic chips in a rapid and cost-effective way. These photonics chips are changing our lives in a very good way. For example, we are using them to make very fast and efficient quantum computers, and also to make optical biosensors to measure various diseases, and also making cost-effective and portable imaging tools that can be used even in the poorest parts of the world. Traditionally, these chips are fabricated in a clean room environment, and you need at least 100,000 euros of budget and a year of waiting time to get them. This is a big bottleneck, and this is a big bottleneck for everyone, including me. This is why we started with Rapid Photonics concept in the basement of VU University with very limited resources. So in 2 years of time, we managed to advance our technology, and now we can make a pile of photonic chips just in 2 weeks by spending only a couple of hundreds of euros. So this was made possible by designing a new light guiding mechanism. And for that, we are using inexpensive and easily processable components. So by using this technology, we can make really versatile photonic chips that can guide the light in a very efficient way. We have a patent application on the idea, and we want to provide it as a service for everyone who wants to use this prototyping service. So light is the beginning of life, and photonic chips are bringing light into our daily lives. So let there be more light. Thank you.
Phil.
I have the first question here. Again, great presentation. And also from the perspective of impact on society. In what specific sector would this innovation contribute to more diversity and inclusion in society? And how would this application look like? Could it look like?
Is there a specific field, you said, right?
Yeah, specific.
Not necessarily, because as I said, we can use it for making computers, quantum computers, or optical biosensing, which is a part of my research that we are trying to make it for detecting lung cancer. Or in my PhD, I also made a portable imaging tool that can be used, as I said, in the poorest parts of the world. So this is an enabler. It's just an enabler for many different fields.
Thank you, Imran. Can I ask you, if you were to choose what type of impact this should have, what types of priorities would you set with its use?
I think in health, I believe we will have a really, really high impact because of the reasons that I just said. And imagine that you are going to have an optical sensor. This is a point-of-care device that you can, that your health provider can use it immediately, taking a blood sample from you, put it on it, and then give you the results within a couple of hours, rather than waiting for weeks and weeks. So this is why I think the biggest impact would lie in the medical, besides the other fields.
We have 34 seconds left, so I'm going to ask a question. This photonics is really, it's a very new area. When do you think this will actually be commercially viable and accepted, in the real world?
To be honest, this is not a new field. It's been there almost 50 years, started in the Bell Labs. And there are foundries making these kind of chips, but as I said, they're extremely expensive to afford. Our mission is to make it affordable for everyone. And also, leading time is extremely long. So if you have a brilliant idea you want to test right away, you have to wait a year, and meanwhile, you just give up on it most of the time. And, sorry. This is... Thank you. Yeah, thanks.
Just for argument's sake, we know there are also journalists and media watching. So for all of you, when Imran was talking about doing research in the VU basement with limited resources, that was not representative for VU research, just so you know. Please an applause for the third pitcher in the category Society. Welcome to the stage, Daisy Boatsman.
Thank you.
And another applause for Daisy Boatsman.
Okay. And I put this back here. And then I'm ready. My name is Daisy Boatsman. I'm founder of Maze Hunter, and we are developing a game for children with dyslexia. Today, reading and writing are extremely important, and children with dyslexia are often struggling in school. So when these children, the current solution is to forcing children to read and provide them with additional spelling homework. And when children spend so much time focusing on only the thing that they're not good at, is it unexpected that they lose their self-confidence? Research shows that the cooperation of the hemisphere has a lot of influence on the of the processing of information. In people with dyslexia, this processing and cooperation works differently, making learning more difficult. And fortunately, this collaboration can be trained by means of eye-hand coordination assignments and the stimulation of fine motor skills. Maze Hunter translates proven dyslexia treatment to an innovative and attractive game environment and focused on the talents of someone with dyslexia. Did you know that people with dyslexia excel in creativity, spatial insight, and conceptual thinking? Just look at Steve Jobs and Picasso. The game provides eye-hand coordination assignments and allows children to independently train their fine motor skills and the cooperation of the hemispheres. In this way, Maze Hunter combines the physical and the digital world into a playful training. In recent months, we've been talking to parents, teachers, and investors who has responded with a great enthusiasm to the innovative character of Maze Hunter. We also secured a grant of 25,000 euros. So, and because of this, I can proudly present the new prototype of Maze Hunter today. So I would ask, who can I invite to play?
Joe?
Thank you, Daisy. Can I ask you, if you were to dream, and this could be used for other applications, what types of, maybe for autism or other types of learning disabilities, what would you say? Where would we find your new product?
Yeah, I think Maze Hunter can be copied for many target groups. I think also elderly people with motor. Sorry for my English, but for the fine motor skills for elderly people, but also for children, they are only focused on the motor skills. So I think there are different groups they can benefit from the learning skills they learn in Maze Hunter.
Yeah, thank you. I have a question that's an extension actually of that question. In which sectors, besides the educational system, would this innovation have the most economic impact? And could you envision a application? How would it look like?
Yes, the most economic is, I think, that it's a game for every child in the world. I think it could benefit every child in the world because we're only swiping through the day and we don't do anything like writing anymore. With Maze Hunter, they can do it in the digital world, but use their hands and learning the fine motor skills again. So I think that's the most economic benefit of Maze Hunter. You can share it with Maze Hunter and all of you also.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So do you see any other, like Ruben was saying, out of applications, do you see some of the things that you learned? I'm sorry, I have to ask, could it be used to improve the motor skills of a surgeon?
I don't know, maybe. Yeah. I have no idea. I have to research that, I don't know. But I think I focused first on children, and then we moved on further.
All right, thank you.
Boatsman. Thank you. Okay, I guess there's only one thing worse or more nerve-wracking than being one of the first three pitchers, and that's being one of the others, having to see this knowing you're up next. So let's introduce the next category. But before I do that, let's check in on the green room. How are our pitchers doing?
Hi, Simon. Yeah, the tension is getting more and more. And we have 3 more new candidates who already saw the first 3. So that's very exciting, I think. So your name and which company or university you're from?
I'm Arnon, and I'm a researcher at the University of Amsterdam, and I work on solar foil, a layer for optimizing agriculture.
Intimidated by the competitors?
Well, the competitors especially, the level is high, so it's very exciting.
Good luck, good luck. And you, your name and your university?
I'm Edsel Solombides from the VU, representing the Demonstrator Lab and Laser Lab.
Did you bring any audience?
Oh, yes. I have my wife and my team members as well there. Hello.
Good luck for you as well. And you, your name and your university?
I'm Tiago. I come from Amsterdam AmSIA, and I'm a research fellow and a dermatologist in training.
This T-shirt, is it for sale?
It can be afterwards, yes. Just contact me. We'll have a few.
Good luck as well.
Thank you.
And back to you, Simon.
Yeah, thank you. You just saw him. Please welcome to the stage in the category Environment and Climate, Tiago Matos.
My name is Tiago, and I'm a dermatologist in training, which means I see every day many patients that suffer the consequences of using the wrong products on their skin, hair, and nails. We use on average 10 products daily. That means more than 500 different chemicals that we put in our skin. And many of those chemicals are dangerous, causing skin diseases and even cancer. But it's humanly impossible to know all the ingredients in each product. So what do we doctors tell to our patients? Stop using every product, just use Vaseline, which is ridiculous, right? Because no one is just going to live on Vaseline for the rest of their lives. So how can you actually know which product is actually safe and the right one for all of the different skin types? And that's why after 4 years of research and development, we are now seeking funds to launch the Dermoscope, an evidence-based free mobile app that can rapidly tell you if a specific product is the right one for your own unique skin. Answering short, relevant medical questions, it will identify my skin type, giving me valuable information and tips. But also, just taking the photo of the barcode of any product, it will say if this is the right product for my own unique skin with a red and green color code. And let's not forget that this is a $600 billion industry. It's a lot of money that we put in these products. So by knowing the average price, I'm also sure to be able to save some money. This is also the #1 industry contributing to the plastic pollution. Most of the products we buy once, 63% of them we don't buy twice because we don't relate to them. Actually, we are producing 120 billion packages per year. By avoiding to buy unnecessary products, we can reduce unnecessary waste and reduce also the toxic chemicals and microplastics in the environment. So who's ready to start a consumer revolution? The power can be in your hands to start your health, wallet, and the environment.
Great. So you are a very good presenter. Anna Marie, who is the professor at UvA, she has a question for you. It is, how do you deal with all the data gaps that exist on toxicity data of the ingredients?
Yes, actually there is a lot of research going on there, but it is really lack of aggregates. So we actually spent our past years doing a lot of systematic reviews and able to get this database complex that not only can be used in the app, but actually can be used by retailers with an application programming interface. And then we actually know which ingredients are contaminants, but also are relating to different skin types. So we have done that research. And maybe that's something that relates to other participants that still need to go a lot research and development, and we are ready to launch.
Great. So, great. So you're saying that you have a pretty complete database.
Yes. And also in terms of the products, we already can identify 80 to 90% of the products that a resident in the Netherlands uses.
Okay, fantastic. Then one additional question is, it looks like what you're doing is you're focusing on a B2C versus a B2B application.
Yeah, in the long term, it of course would be nice to work as a marketplace business model, making money from subscriptions, marketing, and also selling aggregated data to other businesses. But until we get that momentum, actually B2B is going to be our biggest revenue. And until we know from Boots and Feel Unique already are interested in our app through the API, and with them we are planning to use a strategy or software as a strategy pricing model with data sourcing fees, but also call-out fees.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Tiago. On to the second picture in this category. Please welcome to the stage Arnon Lesage.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Arnon Lesage, and I'm the developer of solar foil, a layer that optimizes sunlight for agriculture, for sustainable agriculture. And why is sustainable agriculture important? Well, agriculture is under pressure. We need food, land is scarce, energy prices are on the rise, so we need to make agriculture more efficient. So how do we do that? Well, plants need light to grow. And sunlight contains useful light, but also useless light, such as harmful UV or green light. With solar foil, we've developed a layer, it's in this pocket, that can convert sunlight into the most optimal light for plants to grow on. And this means that in a greenhouse with solar foil applied to it, we would see 10% yield increases. In practice, if you look at tomatoes, they're grown solely, exclusively in greenhouses. 10% yield increase translates into 74 million euros worth of tomatoes per year in the same piece of land on the same time period. And that's purely through this. Now, we've tested this concept in the lab on microalgae, and I've seen them grown by 10 to 20% faster. And now we want to see how it works in practice, in the real world. So we've partnered with an industrial partner, Renolith, and together we are making foils which are bigger size. And we want to test those foils with clients' hands and to see how it works in the real world. We expect in 2 to 3 years to be able to show the first commercial products and see solar foil distributed in the Netherlands, but also outside the Netherlands, around the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Arnon. It's kind of good to meet you in person.
Yeah.
Anna Marie, who's the expert on environment, has a question. She says, this is a beautiful combination on nature-based and technology. How to shape, what is how to shape towards individual plant species? So basically, what plants does this really work on? And the second question she has is, what are the emission savings?
So, okay, the first question about how to direct this to different plants, this is actually something we lean on existing research. So existing greenhouses already use artificial light, and they use light recipes already tuned into different plants, to different conditions. And we want to make use of this knowledge and apply it to just sunlight. The second part was the emissions. So from discussions we had with experts in the field, it's clear that this could allow the artificial lighting to be turned down or turned on later. In that way, the most energy consuming part, the artificial lighting, could be saved. And, well, obviously, even without artificial lighting, we're getting higher yields in the same period, in the same time. This is, in itself already a saving in energy consumption of a greenhouse.
What is the first crop? Is it going to be tomatoes that you think that you're going to apply this to?
I would say so, actually. So tomatoes in the Netherlands is the second most abundant crop grown after onions. And they're only grown in greenhouses, and they're using the most advanced techniques. I believe a Dutch tomato farmer produces 10 times more tomatoes than a Spanish farmer. And this is because of the innovation that they use. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. I guess Arnon doesn't like onions, but that's another matter. Picture number 6, which is number 3 within this category. Please welcome here Edsel Salambides.
Hi. Hello, I'm Edsel Salambides, and I'm from Respira, where we develop sensors that detect illness in farm animals. The human population is expected to reach almost 10 billion by 2050, 2 billion more than now. Feeding the world and feeding the future is a serious global challenge, especially if we demand that it is done in a sustainable, ethical, and environmental way. Now, dairy is an important component, and dairy farmers care for some 300 million animals worldwide. Now, with economic pressures and stricter environmental regulations, the dairy farmer is asked to produce more, but with a fewer number of animals. Thus, the health of each individual cow is of crucial importance. At Respira, we develop affordable and non-invasive breath sensor for cows capable of the earliest disease diagnosis, well before symptoms are observed. Using optical and laser technology, our sensors very sensitively detect very tiny amounts of breath biomarkers for disease in cows. With an advanced warning, treatment can be as easy as changing the feed. We believe that our innovation will be a key component in the future of farming. It does not only bring economic benefits and convenience to farmers, it helps reduce environmental emissions and importantly ensures a better quality of life and health for the farm animals.
Thank you very much. I will have Geert. You had a question about.
I have. That's very impressive. What you say. What you show is that we've actually in the human area we also work with those kinds of techniques. The problem we encounter though is that we have a lot of false positives and false negatives, and I can assume that is in human health it's less acceptable. But what do you find acceptable in animal farm with your technique? What level of false positive and false negative do you accept?
Well, of course, we want to be really as sensitive and specific. In the human health, of course, it's more crucial. Our technology is very different to the one that exists now. For example, if I just pick e-noses, electronic noses, those are based on semiconductor surface materials. And therein lies fundamentally the problem, because it's not very specific. It's not very specific to a certain molecule which signifies the disease. Our technique really looks at specific molecules, and in that way, in the long run, I think that is the way to go. Before, e-noses are taken because they are low cost, but we will also implement our technology with fiber optics and telecom technology to bring the cost down, and so we get...
Is that a question to my answer?
I think...
Oh.
No.
he was... Okay, sorry, we'll move on. Is because I have a question from Anne-Marie, is do you want to integrate this technology in other applications like milking automate?
Yes, and we're already talking to these robot manufacturers because they're interested to integrate our sensors with them. We're collaborating and testing it with them.
Edsel Salamides.
Thank you, Simon.
Impressive pictures thus far, right? Also, Edsel, like impeccable timing and also perfect evasion of difficult questions. He already has all the qualities to make it. And yeah, great. You're still here? Are you wondering, when is the break? There is no break. We will continue. This is research and innovation. We'll just continue. Let's see how the final 3 pictures are doing. Green room, please.
Hey, Simon. It would be so difficult to be one of the last 3 competitors. So your name and where you're from.
My name is Tom Brouwer. I'm a doctor at Amsterdam Medical Center.
And you brought something with you?
Yeah, I brought our prototype with us. I'm going to present it in a minute.
And are you prepared for the questions of the jury?
Hopefully.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And the last 2. Hello, sir.
Hi, my name is Insan. I'm a PhD student in psychology from Vrije Universiteit.
And do you have some support with you?
Yes, I have my partner back there, so I have a lot of support.
Online as well?
Online as well, my family.
Okay. And the last one, last but not least, your name?
My name is Liz van Riet. I'm a medical doctor and a PhD student at the Amsterdam Medical Center as well.
And And on the level from 1 to 10, the stress level?
Little nervous, but also a bit excited to finally go.
Good luck with it. Back to you, Simon.
Yeah, thank you. So in other words, we will start the health category of the pitches. With the first pitcher, please welcome to the stage Tom Brouwer.
Good afternoon. My name is Tom Brouwer. I'm a doctor, and today I present FlowSure, an automated urine monitor. When I work in the hospital and are called to a worsening patient, the nurse presents to me vital parameters such as heart rate and blood pressure. I always ask the nurse if the patient still pees, because when urine production halts, the patient is in serious trouble. Unfortunately, today's manual versions are insufficient to manage hospitalized patients. In the intensive care unit, one nurse takes care of one patient and checks urine output every hour. However, in the general ward, a nurse takes care of up to 10 patients and is therefore unable to check urine output for every patient every hour. As a result, critical information about my patient is unavailable, compromising safety. FlowSure automates this process. It automatically alarms when urine production halts, and it sends the registrations automatically to the electronic medical record, therefore reducing nursing workload. So how does FlowSure do this? Well, FlowSure is a digital hanging scale that weighs urine as it flows through the catheter into the bag underneath the patient's bed. Therefore, urine output will always be available both on the screen and in the medical record. In contrast to today's manual versions, FlowSure is reusable as it does not touch the patient nor the patient's urine. If FlowSure is selected by the AmSIA Innovation Award jury, we will use the money to build an improved version and find a partner to produce and distribute FlowSure. We hope that FlowSure will be available to every patient in order to improve their safety while also reducing the workload for our busy nursing staff. I thank you very much.
So let's have Rolf, who is the healthcare investor who might be able to invest in you, ask the first question.
And ask you a very mean question because you made a very clear presentation. And the main question is, what prevents anyone else from making this?
That's a good question, and probably no one. But the problem is it doesn't exist, and we need it because, as I said, critical information for patient safety is unavailable, and our nursing staff is way too busy to not have a device like this. But yeah, it's difficult to protect an idea like this because it's probably too simple.
Find ways. Yeah.
Have you looked at patenting it?
I have not looked at it myself, as that's not my specialty, but other people have, and they say it's difficult to patent. But on the other hand, I hope that this device becomes available, a low-cost sort of commodity device that will be available to every patient bed, and hopefully we can realize that.
Great. So now let's have another doctor have ask you some questions.
A very elegant idea. I was just wondering, you walk around on the ICU, and I do as well. And it's in the OR, it's the same. It's about false alarms. And you connect an alarm with it. How do you overcome this issue?
Yeah, so one of the potential issues is that when the catheter falls out of the bed, that it increases the weight that the device registers. So we simply solve that by attaching the catheter to the back of the device so that it doesn't weigh on the bag itself where the urine is collected. And that way we hope to reduce false alarming, but I think that's obviously a challenge.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. In terms of like cleanliness and health, right? In terms of the user experience, do you have worked in how do you process the bags and clean them?
And could you please answer Gigi during the drinks later
Yes,
this afternoon?
I will. Thank you very much.
An applause to Tom, please. And let's go directly to our second pitcher within the health category. Please welcome to the stage Liz van Riet.
Good afternoon. My name is Liz van der Riet. I'm a medical doctor and a PhD student working on the Jeroen Pithuis, our innovative care model for children with chronic illnesses. Now imagine, your child is admitted to a hospital. Suddenly, your child is a patient who depends on medical professionals for survival. This is a situation no one wants to be in. Now, even worse, imagine your child is admitted to the hospital for months or even a year. Imagine what a tremendous impact this has, not just on your child, but on your entire family. You constantly worry about your child's health, and you have to divide yourself between the hospital and your family life at home. This is the stressful and isolating reality for thousands of families only in the Netherlands. It is the price we pay for a medical success. More and more children live life with a chronic, complex condition. They reside in hospitals for months, sometimes even years, because going back home is too difficult. Parents feel ill-prepared, lost, and face many practical challenges. The gap between the hospital and the home is simply too big. This has to change. Luckily, we have a solution. We brought together all stakeholders, including the parents, in a private-public partnership and created our own new innovative care facility. A transitional or in-between unit will provide a safe space outside the hospital that feels like home, where medical professionals will empower the parents to take care of the ill child themselves. Children will spend less time in the hospital, which is crucial for their development and family well-being, but also reduces healthcare costs and frees up intensive care space. To summarize, the Jeroen Pithuis provides the right care in the right place and bridges that gap, because every child deserves to be at home. Thank you, and thank you for the team who made it possible to do this.
So here, I believe you have a question.
Yeah, Liz, this is so. And who could be against this, right? It is. You're a clear winner. No, you're not.
Spoiler.
Now, I was a little bit. I mean, what is innovative? And you showed us a little bit about that. But I was a little bit concerned about what's the scientific part of it. I mean, how strong is that? It feels a little bit, not in your pitch, but in the documentation that you sent. It feels a little bit attached. Do you understand what I mean? Is there real science involved as well?
Definitely. Thank you for that question. Yes, I mean, I'm the PhD student working on this project, and I have a second colleague since a couple of months. And there's a massive scientific sort of base for this project. I think that's the strength, because there have been former initiatives that were sort of creating the same kind of care, but they're more experience-based, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because a lot of people have a lot of experience and are really trying really hard to make life better for these families. But we sometimes don't really know what we do. We know why we do it, but we don't really know what we're doing. So yes, we do. We provide a lot of research. We involve the parents. We're currently working on a study to evaluate the type of care, because we plan to open next spring. And in a couple of years, we would like to evaluate if this type of care is actually beneficial, both for the parents, but also from a financial point of view.
Rolf, you had a question?
Yeah. So assuming you get to scale this to capacity, how do you protect your ability that every child, every family has access to this under the same terms? It feels like it's quite capital intensive. How do we make sure that everyone has access to that under the same terms?
Yeah. Well, that's a really good one. Right now, they don't. This will be sort of the first prototype. And next couple of years, we're going to test if it's actually, like I said, if it's worth doing this. But if it is, we think we can roll out our concept to other parts of the Netherlands, so that maybe every university could have a transitional care unit. And then everyone could have access to it. Yeah.
Thank you, Liz.
Thank you.
And now for our 9th and final picture of the day. Please welcome Insan Firdaus.
What if I tell you that we can start a addiction recovery program from the comfort of your living room? Let me tell you how. 35 million people in the world diagnosed with substance addiction. To be more specific, in the Netherlands, for example, there are more than 27,000 people hospitalized because of alcohol problem. Unfortunately, only 1 in 7 people receive the treatment. One of the reasons is stigmatization from society and healthcare professionals makes them hesitant to seek help. So to tackle these problems, we created a virtual reality app combined with biofeedback technology called Mindful. We aim to bring the most comfortable treatment that can be accessed anywhere, anytime, and stigma-free. This is one of our environments for alcohol drinkers. We created a bar simulation to stimulate the urge to drink and to teach users how to deal with this kind of situation effectively. And with biofeedback, they can observe their heart rate reaction and learn to stabilize it in real time. On top of that, this simulation can also be guided by a professional's voice remotely. Users can search for addiction therapists on our platform. In that way, they can start addiction treatment without afraid of being stigmatized. And for the clinicians and rehabilitation centers, they can use Mindful as an additional tools for the therapy program. With Mindful, the patient's progress can be monitored remotely. Now we are focused on validating our first prototype, and we plan to launch Mindful by the end of 2023. Thank you for your attention, and remember, recovery starts from your living room. Thank you.
Rob?
Sure. Thanks for the presentation. In my experience, and I've invested in companies that use software for behavioral therapy, you need an actionable trigger. You need a clear trigger in the behavior of the patient that you want to change. How would you describe that to you?
I'm sorry, can you repeat again?
What's the trigger? What's the behavior that you want to change with the patients that you're treating?
Okay, in this case, it's a craving, the urge to drink. So we want to trigger the urge to drink and to stabilize it in real time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, this is some kind of like behavioral experiment in cognitive behavioral therapy, for instance. And we want to intervene that patients will have the skills to tackle these problems later in the future.
Okay, and have you been able to test in an experiment that when you trigger the urge to drink, that can change the behavior long term for those patients?
Yes. To be honest, this kind of intervention is not kind of new. So a lot of papers that can trigger this stimulation. But in our prototype, it's not validated yet. So that's why we want to validate this prototype like next year.
Thank you. Okay. Here?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously very important. Now, it's 75% of the patients admitted this Monday to the surgical department had to do with alcohol and drugs. So it's important. I was thinking, what is the VR aspect? I mean, why is that necessary? I mean, it could run on a normal computer, right?
Okay. So the basic idea is in the therapy, for instance, to stimulate the urge, patients have to imagine something.
And that's stronger with the VR.
Yes. So with virtual reality, they can into the virtual environment and doesn't have to be imagined. And this is a safe environment to practice.
But it could run on a normal computer?
No.
Okay.
Thank you. Insan, please.
Yeah, thank you.
May I hear a very loud applause for all our pitches? Because they can actually hear you. They're 10 meters across the hallway. So thanks for your support. And an applause to the jury. Thanks for your great questions thus far. May I kindly invite you to leave for your more or less heated debate on who the winner should be. And let's briefly check in on all the pitchers. If they're still doing fine, if the nerves are gone now, let's go to the green room for just a minute.
Yeah, back in the green room here. How did it go?
Yeah, it was really hard. I was a little bit nervous, but it was also exciting to be on the stage.
What do you think about the rest of the competition?
Oh, they have great products and great stories, so it's hard for the jury. Yeah.
So, how did it go?
Yeah, this is my second time in this competition, but still I got very excited, and I probably missed some words or repeated them again. But all in all, it was a very nice experience, I think.
So, what are you going to do with the 10,000 euros if you win?
Yeah, we are going to continue making this prototype. So we make lots of these chips, and for that we need some material, some chemicals. So that would be amazing if you get it.
Let's have a look. Did you receive any WhatsApp from your fans or something?
I didn't look actually. No.
Are there people watching?
Yeah, but I haven't looked at my phone actually.
What do you think? Do you make a chance?
Everybody was super impressive. So.
Okay, well, exciting. Let's have a look. Let's have a look who we have here. How did your presentation went?
Well, it's very excited to be here, and I had a fun time presenting. So it was also really fun to see the other pitches. So really cool day.
Yeah, good. And how about here? You were the last one. Was it difficult or easy to be the last one?
I'm head waiting. That's it. But yeah, but it's great. I can saw another pitches before me, so I can learn something.
So, how did it go?
All right, I think I actually liked it. I was nervous, but being up there is also really fun. So yeah, I enjoyed it.
Difficult questions from the jury? Or?
Well, good questions to make you think about your own innovation and how to improve it. So.
No questions that you weren't thinking about already, or?
Well, yeah, no. I think it was a bit too big to be expected, but yeah, nice to have him.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, did it went well?
Yes, it went well. It was really nice to have this chance to share our idea. So it was really fun.
Any people at home are watching?
Yeah, for sure. I think colleagues and friends, family, yeah. And some are here, some are at home, yeah.
And what are your chances, do you think?
I don't know. All the pitches were great, so it was lovely to see. Yeah.
Well, we're all very excited, Simon, so back to you.
Yeah, and please allow the finalists to come back into our space. Then we can welcome them with an applause. Okay, I don't know about all of you present here or online, but I greatly enjoyed seeing in the green room just now that some of you seem to still have a bit of nerves to discover what the jury thinks. Although I must say, Flores, you gave me the impression that you are completely relaxed and happy now, which is great. So great. While we await Flores, whether the jury picks you or one of the other 8 candidates, it's time to honor 3 magnificent researchers. Let's go to the Impact Awards. This is about researchers whose work has made and continues to make a tremendous impact on society. Obviously a positive impact, otherwise this would be a truly awkward prize. Let's go to your prize first. And a movie clip has been made about you, as you've known. Let's all see what happens. Go ahead.
Ik ben in 1988 als asielzoeker naar Nederland gekomen. Ik moest vluchten omdat ik een activist was in Iran. Ik was een idealist. Ik was een wereldverbeteraar. Kwam ik naar Nederland en was verbaasd over de beelden over vluchtelingen. Die werden voornamelijk gezien als probleemcategorieën, als mensen die achterstand hebben, als mensen die weinig kwaliteiten hebben. En daarom wilde ik heel graag in Nederland mij inzetten om verhalen, perspectieven en kwaliteiten van vluchtelingen en migranten zichtbaarder te maken.
Halle heeft een aantal rollen die ze tegelijkertijd speelt.
Aan de ene kant zit ze in de universitaire wereld en daarnaast heeft ze een rol in de maatschappij. Dus zij maakt deel uit van allerlei adviescommissies. Bijvoorbeeld bij de SER is ze kroonlid. Verder is ze lid van bijvoorbeeld Movisie. Ze is ook al onderdeel van een commissie bij vluchtelingenwerk. En op die manier probeert ze eigenlijk haar inzichten ook in dat soort organisaties te laten doorklinken.
Voor mij is engagement met de samenleving vanuit de wetenschap essentieel. Dus deze wisselwerking is essentieel om vernieuwing te creëren, maar ook inspiratie voor mezelf. Om constant met het onderwerp bezig te zijn. Ik leer enorm veel van deze interactie.
Halle was een van de eerste die vaststaande uitgangspunten ter discussie stelde in het onderzoek naar allerlei fenomenen van migratie, immigratie, asielbeleid. En omdat zij dat deed, wist ze ook licht te brengen op hoe onderzoek zelf onbedoeld een negatieve impact kan hebben op beleid. En daarmee dus op de uitkomsten van dat beleid.
Een van de belangrijke dingen is het bewustzijn van in- en uitsluitingsprocessen in Nederland. Zij wijst ons op het soort van achterstandsdenken, noemt zij het. Dat we eigenlijk ervan uitgaan dat mensen die ergens anders vandaan komen per definitie een achterstand hebben. En dat leidt uiteindelijk toe dat mensen niet de kansen krijgen die hen geboden zouden moeten worden.
Het is een ongemakkelijk gesprek vaak, want het gaat ook over ongemakkelijke thema's. Want het gaat over wie wij zijn. Het gaat over de kern van onszelf als mensen in deze samenleving. Maar ik vind als het gaat over diversiteit en inclusie, dan is het van ongelooflijk groot belang dat je voortdurend vragen stelt. En dat is zo bijzonder aan Halle. Die kan die vragen stellen op een manier die scherp is, die confronterend is, maar altijd open. Ze komt binnen.
Ze heeft een heleboel mooie karaktereigenschappen. En ik zie eigenlijk dat dat een beetje twee dingen zijn. Ze is een strijder en tegelijkertijd een verbinder. En die verbinding die maakt ze eigenlijk door het delen van verhalen.
Niemand staat te wachten om je verhaal van succes de hele tijd te horen, maar juist de uitdagingen in je reis naar je succes, in je kwetsbaarheden. Daardoor maak je verbinding met de mensen die ook die reis heel graag misschien willen maken. Het is best wel lastig over je eigen impact te praten, maar wat ik wel zie is dat al die studenten die jarenlang van mijn college hebben gehad, die zie ik overal. Dus daar zie ik mijn boodschap eigenlijk vermenigvuldigen in de samenleving. Maar ook als ik lezingen geef, overal in de samenleving. Zonder dat ik kies van wat geeft mij status en wat niet. Maar echt gewoon voor iedereen beschikbaar zijn voor zoveel de tijd toelaat. Dat vind ik ook heel erg belangrijk.
Wat mij altijd wel zo geraakt heeft in Halle, is dat zij in staat is geweest om haar persoonlijke levensgeschiedenis te ontstijgen. En zij staat echt open voor hoe mensen in het leven staan, met alles wat ze meebrengen daarin. Zonder daar ofwel een oordeel over te hebben, ofwel aannames over te doen.
Als ik aan Halle denk, dan denk ik ook aan een uitspraak van Nelson Mandela. Die zegt tegen mensen, durf je talent te laten zien, durf het licht te laten schijnen. En Halle doet dat. Zij durft haar talent te ontplooien en het licht te laten schijnen. En daarmee geeft ze anderen ook het voorbeeld om dat ook te doen.
Ik doe mijn werk omdat ik het heel erg mooi vind. Zeer waardevol en heel erg belangrijk. Je doet het niet om prijzen te winnen, maar als je erkenning voor krijgt en anderen jouw werk ook waardevol vinden, dat is de grootste eer wat je kan hebben. En grootste kroon op wat je aan het doen bent.
And I think Mirjam van Praag would like to say a couple of words while handing you the award. Go ahead, Mirjam.
Dear Halle, dear audience, Halle, you are really an authority in refugee and diversity research. You are famous for many, many things. Your innovative multi-method approach to research. You have founded the Refugee Academy at the Vrije Universiteit Amsterdam. And last year you were also appointed member of the Royal Academy of Sciences in the Netherlands. Your research has had much impact. You sit on boards, you advise policymakers, politicians, lawyers, business community, local governments and NGOs, and you have actually set up an ecosystem for refugees and all involved parties, which is very nice. And your research, I think, is not only based on your truly excellent research, but also on yourself as a person. As a refugee from Iran, we heard you speaking about already, you became part of academia where you could combine in your very personal way your passion for justice with academic knowledge. And I think even in the channels that you use for making impact, you are innovative. One example is a project where you combined life story methodology and creative writing, which allowed participants, which were women from different backgrounds, to become co-authors and joint producers. Well, I think everywhere people have the names that you coined for certain things like in-between space, categorical thinking, have started using this, and this is used by policymakers as well as by migrants and refugees. So, dear Halle, for all these reasons, I'm delighted that I, as the president of the board of the Vrije Universiteit Amsterdam, have been given the honor by the AmSIA organization to give you, Halle Korashi, professor at the Vrije Universiteit Amsterdam, the extremely well-deserved Society Impact Award 2021.
And as you might or might not see also from online, Halle is not only receiving an award, but also flowers. And a beautiful portrait that displays, well, bringing light in this case. Of course, if you'd like to, Halle, you can address the crowd for a bit, if you'd like to.
Yes, thank you.
I know it's not about awards, but still.
Yeah, I'm nervous, so I wrote down some things. Thank you so much. Thank you, Miriam, for your kind words. Thank you for this amazing prize. This is a very special moment for me. I'm so honored that my colleagues, academic colleagues, consider my work to be impactful, especially because I know that my work and my line of research is not really part of mainstream academia. That's why I find it extra special. As you saw in the film, my academic trajectory has been strongly connected to my personal journey as an activist in the Iranian Revolution of 1979, and later as a refugee in the Netherlands. I have tried to understand why some people like me, who want to contribute to a better world or create a better future for their children, become isolated, feel betrayed, or powerless after they are settled in their new country. As a scholar who is inspired by critical theory, I began to try to unpack the emancipatory possibilities in relation to power. However, I soon realized that power of exclusion can have different faces. Some more visible and direct, others less visible, even with good intentions. Therefore, in my research projects, I have been studying the conditions of inclusionary transformation in the context of power that is normalized and often taken for granted. In these cases, change is often small and slow. The question then is how to make that change impactful. So it is amazing to stand here and be awarded for the impact of all my attempts over the past 20 years to contribute to inclusionary conditions and practices in academia, in organizations, and in society. But this has only been possible because of many inspiring people around me, both in academia and in society. I would like especially to thank my colleagues from my department of sociology and at the Free University, but also and mainly junior and senior researchers in my team and in different other research projects I have been working with. I stand here because we work very hard in teams. I believe in collaborations, but also because we support each other when necessary and challenge each other to stay on track. These diverse group of researchers in my different projects inspire me to continue with my work through their amazing talents and innovative ideas. So this award is also for them. Last but not least, I'm grateful to different safe but daring spaces, different diverse women's networks in which I have been part of in the past couple of years. They gave me the possibility to be myself and to grow. But also very fortunate with the unconditional love of my Iranian friends who are sitting here, who have become my family in diaspora, and for having a supportive and wonderful partner in life. Thank you, Kees, for the person you are. I am blessed and grateful. Thank you so very much.
Is it okay for a minute to take a picture with Miriam? Just a short picture. This is the only 1 minute break for the audience in the program. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah. Would you be so kind to hold it and the picture? Yeah, and no, not me. It's so. I don't know if you ever watched the Oscar nominations or anything, but there they always have a camera on the partner of, and I'm so sorry that we didn't have that. Because it was beautiful when Kees was being addressed. So, but I enjoyed it. So, yeah, do a selfie perhaps, Kees. That might help. So, again, Hale Grashi, please. Thank you. Can I give these to Kees?
Yes.
Welcome. Okay. Beautiful. Then let's continue to the Impact Award in the category of health. And again, we will show a little bit about our winner in the following movie clip.
Wat ik leuk vind aan de immunologie is dat het veel facetten van biologische fenomenen bij betrokken zijn. Je kijkt naar cellen, je kijkt naar moleculen, je kijkt naar samenhang van cellen en je kijkt naar het organisme, omdat die immuuncellen die zorgen voor de afweer van het organisme van ons dus.
De eerste ontmoeting voor mij met Herge was in 2004 en hij was natuurlijk een Nederlandse top-immunoloog. Zoals ik Herge ken, hij is zo'n inspirator, hij heeft zoveel ideeën. En dan sta je bij zo'n poster op een congres te praten en binnen een half uur heb je 20 nieuwe ideeën. Dus dat was wel heel leuk om daar dan met hem aan te beginnen, om dat avontuur aan te gaan.
Het gebruik van antilichamen in de geneeskunde is niet nieuw. Antilichamen zijn al in de jaren 70 vorige eeuw bedacht. Er zijn al heel veel goede voorbeelden zelfs op de markt, maar die zijn allemaal op een manier gemaakt waarbij er heel veel voorkennis nodig was. Van wat veroorzaakt nou die ziekte? En dat is het verhaal bij Herge. Dat hoeven we allemaal niet te weten. We gaan kijken naar een patiënt die ziekte heeft gehad en is genezen. En gaan kijken welke B-cellen hebben meegeholpen om die patiënt te genezen.
En tijdens dat onderzoek kwamen we erachter hoe we B-cellen zo moeten manipuleren, zodat ze dus heel lang blijven leven en blijven prolifereren. En dat was de basis voor de technologie die we hebben gebruikt om antistoffen te maken. Want we konden die B-cellen expanderen, we konden single B-cellen eruit halen. En die single B-cellen konden we dan laten prolifereren. En alle nakomelingen van die enkele B-cellen, die maken hetzelfde antilichaam.
Samenwerken met Herge is de invloed die hij heeft in de zin van al zijn ideeën. Maar het is ook, en dat vergeten mensen vaak, een hele goede infrastructuur bouwen. Dus hij zorgde dat er goed toegang was tot en een nieuw model voor muizenproeven. De hismuis, zeer belangrijk. Maar ook de infrastructuur in het lab met de moleculaire groep, cellulaire mensen, heel veel immunologische technieken. En dat allemaal aan elkaar verbinden, dat moet je maar net kunnen.
Infecties met het RS-virus is iedere winter een terugkerend probleem op de kinderintensive cares in Nederland. Dat levert een ontzettende belasting op voor het kind. Het kind moet kunstmatig worden beademd. Het is een ontzettende belasting voor ouders en gezin. Maar ook een enorme belasting voor de capaciteit van de kinderintensive cares. En in dat verband, Hergen, die heeft een ongelooflijk belangrijke uitvinding gedaan, een ontdekking gedaan met een belangrijk geneesmiddel wat kan helpen voorkomen dat kinderen ernstig ziek worden.
Belangrijk om te vast te stellen dat Hergen in zijn leven op 2 plekken groot wetenschappelijk onderzoek heeft gedaan. Dat is bij universiteiten, maar ook bij bedrijven. Hij heeft telkens, zelfs voor een aantal jaren, zijn universitaire werk afgewisseld met werk bij een groot bedrijf. Om te zien wat wetenschap moet betekenen om een product te maken waar een patiënt wat aan heeft. En dat is wat hij in al zijn onderzoek voor ogen heeft gehouden. Hoe werkt de biologie? Hoe kan ik er een product van maken? En heeft de patiënt er wat aan?
Hij heeft ook de kwaliteit om op een hele andere manier naar data te kijken. Ja, dat klinkt een beetje moeilijk om uit te leggen, maar soms zien mensen data en dan zeggen ze, nou, die proef is mislukt. En dan zegt Hergen, nee, want kijk, daar, die cellen, die heb ik nog nooit eerder gezien. Terwijl wij dan denken, nou, de proef is mislukt, ziet Hergen de juiste mogelijkheid in.
Heel belangrijk is dat Hergen altijd heeft bedacht, ik kan het niet alleen. Ik heb hele goede medewerkers nodig, echt perfecte medewerkers nodig om dit moeilijke werk te doen. En dat heeft hij heel goed gedaan. Hij heeft de gave om een heel team van uitstekende mensen bij zich in het lab te krijgen, die net zo gebiologeerd zijn als hij, die kwaliteit leveren en een school gevormd hebben.
Dus Hergen en zijn team, chapeau, helemaal gaaf. Maar los daarvan is Hergen een ongelooflijk amabele man, een ontzettende teamplayer die in al zijn bescheidenheid enorm belangrijke dingen voor elkaar heeft gekregen. Dus die prijs, die past hem.
Ik zie dit niet als een persoonlijke prijs, maar eigenlijk een prijs voor het geheel. En ik ben blij dat ik die prijs in ontvangst kan nemen, maar ik draag dat mede op aan mijn teamgenoten.
Hergen Spits. And may I also welcome to the stage board member of AmSIA, Frida van den Maalichtenberg.
Professor Spitz, dear Hergen, I'm immensely proud. We are proud that we can give you this award, this prize, because there's no one in our institution who earns this prize more than you. A year ago, I was watching the 8 o'clock news, August 2020, and I was amazed because there was a professor from the UMC Utrecht, a pediatrician, who was proudly telling us about a trial they were joining about the RS virus medicine you developed. And you weren't even mentioned. So what do you do as a board member? You're immediately at the director of communication and says, how in the world is this possible? That nobody knows that this invention is originated in Amsterdam UMC and was your idea and your plan. But then, you know, we came back, we struck back, and in December 21, I guess it was, now 22 or 2020, of course, Volkskrant published the most important innovations of the last year, and you were there on the 7th position. I thought, we all thought that you had been first, and this category. So this today, this prize, is a little bit of a revenge for not being mentioned in the 8 o'clock news and not being the first in the Volkskrant Innovation Award. You deserve it. You've been of a tremendous importance for all the valorization plans in Amsterdam UMC, and we are really, really very grateful for you. And that's why I'm very proud to hand this award to you.
Thank you. Maybe the picture first. For the picture, maybe a little bit over here. Maybe a little, I know we are used to a 1.5 meters now, but yeah.
You know, we're working in hospitals. We try to.
How? Yeah, good. Thank you. Thank you a lot. Is there anything you'd like to say? I will not steal them. You could just.
To say a few words. First of all, I want to repeat what I said. It is a personal prize, but I dedicate the prize to all the team members, all the people with whom I started this venture. Particularly some people who I like to mention here, Tim Beaumont and Willem van Oort and Donald Kalf. I don't know whether he's here. There, with whom I started this company called AIM Therapeutics, and the first antibody that we made was indeed this anti-RSV antibody. And it was a huge success with only 2 people in the lab. And so, of course, it was a consequence of a lot of work that has been done in the decades before that in the Netherlands Cancer Institute and the AMC. And of course, all the people who worked in those labs, I dedicate this prize to. And then finally, I want to mention my family members. My family, if you speak to these people, you will notice that they speak extremely loud. And that is because I'm quite deaf. And it is, shows how they have helped me through my life and this particular venture. Thank you very much, and thank you, all of you, for your attention.
Hergen, speech. Zal ik er eentje meenemen? Ja. Alsjeblieft. Thank you. In addition to the beautiful clip you've just saw, we also interviewed a couple of people who are quite critical about his work, and we'll look. No, that would be wrong, right? Let's not do that. Let's go to the 3rd Impact Award winner. Let's see the clip.
Klimaatadaptatie is natuurlijk hot op dit moment. Eigenlijk helaas te hot. Hè? Het gaat verkeerd. Maar vroeger was het anders. Toen ik in 2005, 2010 daarmee begon eigenlijk, kwam je bij gemeentes binnen van hey, we moeten hier wat mee, dit onderwerp, het gaat mis. Maar heel veel gemeentes wilden dat niet. Of dan mijn contactpersoon wilde dat wel, die had me daarvoor ingehuurd bij het adviesbureau of die had een onderzoek met ons bedacht. Maar dan kwam je bij de gemeenteraad, ja, er was nog heel veel sceptisch over klimaatverandering. Is dat wel door de mens veroorzaakt? Is het wel zo ernstig? Komt er altijd wel weer een ijstijd aan? Nee, maar nu is het helemaal anders.
De stad Amsterdam die moet zo goed mogelijk voorbereid zijn op het veranderende klimaat. Op het gebied van hitte, droogte, wateroverlast, overstromingen. En dat doen we binnen projecten en dat doen we ook binnen beleid. Het werk van Jeroen als lector van de Hogeschool van Amsterdam helpt ons daarbij, omdat hij normen en richtlijnen voor een klimaatadaptieve stad al heeft bedacht of al heeft onderzocht. Daar doet hij een voorstel voor.
Daar komen allerlei praktijkvragen boven. Hoe doe je dat? Wat is klimaatbestendig inrichten? En wat is voldoende klimaatbestendig? Dat zijn de praktijkvragen waar wij in ons lectoraat aan werken. En dat doen we dan ook samen met gemeentes en waterschappen en adviesbureaus, ingenieursbureaus, ontwerpers en de studenten natuurlijk.
En zijn onderzoek is altijd heel goed bruikbaar. Het lijkt op de een of andere manier goed te weten wat eigenlijk de ambtenaar of de stad nodig heeft qua kennis.
En juist die interactie van wat is gevraagd en wat zouden wij kunnen doen, dat maakt het interessant. Want ik vind zomaar onderzoek doen omdat ik een vraag heb en dat dan uitzoeken en dan denken, nou dat schrijf ik op en dat leest wel iemand, dat vind ik niet het leuke werk. Ik wil juist horen dat mensen mijn spullen gebruiken. En dat ze blij zijn met wat wij maken en als ze dat niet zijn, dat ze dat ook zeggen, zodat we wat anders maken.
Jeroen is heel goed in staat om de noodzaak van zijn onderzoek aan te tonen. En daarvoor dus EU-subsidies te krijgen, omdat het natuurlijk eigenlijk wereldwijde problemen zijn in de stad. We lopen niet alleen hier tegen hitte aan, maar andere steden zoals New York of Parijs lopen daar natuurlijk ook tegenaan. Er zijn richtlijnen, normen die hij bedacht heeft, kunnen wij niet alleen gebruiken, maar ook andere beleidsmakers in andere steden.
Ja, ik heb altijd het idee dat verschillende partijen of professionals bij ons op de stoep staan om met ons lectoraat en met Jeroen samen te werken. Hij creëert ontzettend veel kansen we halen ontzettend veel werk binnen. Altijd weer.
Ik noem hem ook wel de knuffelprofessor, zo is hij in mijn beeld. Dan komt dat hij gewoon heel erg aardig is, toegankelijk, communiceert altijd heel prettig, maar hij is ook heel erg kritisch. Dus als ik een vraag heb, dan weet ik dat dat opgepakt wordt met zijn kennis. Dat hij er fijn over communiceert, maar dat hij niet bang is om een kritische noot te geven.
De tools en de inzichten die Jeroen binnen het lectoraat creëert, komen al die professionals in de praktijk ten goede, maar worden ook aan de praktijk doorgegeven via het onderwijs. Onder andere via de Minor, de klimaatbestendige stad, die onder zijn vlag al 6 jaar succesvol verloopt.
Ik ben ook druk bezig om kennis over te dragen naar het werkveld, bijvoorbeeld in een masterclass of in een leertraject die we speciaal voor de gemeente Amsterdam hebben gemaakt, een leertraject over klimaatadaptatie. En daar zitten 30 mensen van de gemeente en die krijgen een college van ons over wat klimaatverandering is en wat het voor de stad betekent en hoe ze hun stad klimaatbestendig kunnen inrichten. Dus ik ben vooral met klimaatadaptatie bezig en dat voelt regelmatig als dweilen met de kraan open, want het klimaat verandert waar je bij staat en de problemen worden steeds groter. Dus eigenlijk wil ik in de toekomst veel meer aan de slag met die koppeling van adaptatie en mitigatie. Projecten doen waarbij je zowel problemen oplost als helpt die problemen niet steeds groter te laten worden.
Jeroen is echt een terechte winnaar van deze Impact Awards. Hij is al zoveel jaren met het thema stedelijke klimaatadaptatie bezig. En dan niet alleen met één thema daarvan, maar met alle thema's. Hitte, wateroverlast en droogte. Hij is echt een terechte winnaar van deze Impact Awards.
Vroeger was duurzaam zijn ook het goede doen. Dat moest je doen. Maar langzamerhand wordt duurzaam zijn gewoon een noodzaak. Als we niet duurzaam zijn, dan gaat het erg mis met de wereld. Dus aan het werk allemaal.
Jeroen Tuk. Gefeliciteerd. And to say something to you, I don't have to introduce her to you, I guess, but she's the vice chairman of the board at the University of Applied Sciences in Amsterdam, obviously the HVA. Please also welcome to the stage Hanneke Reuling.
Dear Jeroen, here's another proud board member. I didn't even know I was nominated. That was your response when you heard you awarded this wonderful Impact Award. And I think that is very characteristic. Because we don't know you as someone who is very busy with himself, but who is always very busy with making things better, improving things, finding solutions, and that is the engineer part in you. We also know you as a very engaged scientist, taking action against climate change, and that is the engagement part in you. And I think the research for which you are awarded this afternoon reflects both parts of you. Since 2008, you have been studying climate change and climate adaptation in cities, especially studying the effects for people living in the cities of climate change. And that is flooded streets, that is water basins cellars filled with water. That is people getting ill or people dying even from heat, from stress. And you are thinking about how to redesign cities, so to minimalize at least these effects, to make human lives in cities under these circumstances better. Your research group, not just you, but the people you work with, have found a lot of answers, a lot of knowledge, insights that is highly evaluated, but you do more. You bring this knowledge to local authorities in international groups of consortia, tested measures, evaluated, implemented, and give them back to society. And that's where impact comes in. You were surprised, we weren't, because your research is impactful by design. It is science for society, science with society, it's creative, and it's solution-oriented. So, very much deserved, and I'm happy to hand over this award to you, and congratulations.
Zou je deze even Kan ik deze even aan u geven? For the picture. Oh, could you come a little bit closer here? Yeah? Yes. Maybe something you'd like to say, Jeroen?
Yes, I'd like to say something. Thank you, Hanneke. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, my researchers, because indeed I did it not by myself. I had a very nice research group, and we were doing this all the time together, also together with the working field. So it's a big group already. I was putting things on LinkedIn. I had to type in so many names because I have been making publications together with all people and making tools for them. And it's so nice to see. And then you get so many reactions back. So I'm really happy. I'm proud also to be in the line of those former researchers. Wow. So proud. I'm almost walking next to my shoes now. So it's I hardly know what to say else. But okay, maybe the exhibition thing more. We have to be careful with the climate. And my work is mostly on climate adaptation. So the tap is running and I'm mopping. So that's not the right way. So we have to work on this. And it's really getting urgent. And I hope I can change my work in this direction. But I see all the time many new innovations, many new ways in which society is changing. And I think we all together have to work on this. So I hope you do this with me.
Jeroen Kluk. Thank you, thank you. Are you ready for the Innovation Awards? Also, you at home, we know many family members are watching. This is the moment. Please welcome back the jury, because they got a sign that they... Yes, welcome them back, please. Obviously, the finalists are still in the room. You're still happy? Yeah, good.
Wait,
yeah.
The finalists are here?
Yeah, definitely.
Can you raise your hand so we can see you?
Couple here.
Oh, wow. You're all over. Okay. You guys did fantastic. And in fact, Anna Marie is watching from home. And so, watching from home is always a little bit maybe less interesting, but she kept saying, oh, the pitches were so nice. Wow, the pitches were really good. So congratulations. And you guys should all, you guys and you women, you men, everything inclusive, should all be so proud of yourselves. And you come from a really long tradition of innovations from Amsterdam. Okay, I want you to raise your hand. How many of you knew that Python was created in Amsterdam? Some of you. But Python is like right now one of the most popular computing languages for data and analytics. And everyone talks about it, teaches in the world, but it was developed here in Amsterdam. So In the tradition of amazing innovations from Amsterdam, we saw the 9 finalists, which came out of a group of 30 plus that we reviewed that were all very interesting. And we had the hard job of zeroing down to one winner out of the 3 finalists in each group. Okay, drum roll. Okay. Shall we fill up this time and keep your tension going? All right. So what we're going to do is one of the jury members from that domain is going to come and announce the winner of that segment. And so the first domain that we're going to announce is society. And Jill, who was the winner of last year's, is going to tell us.
Applause for Jill.
It's such an honor and such a privilege, but I do want to say a couple of words as to the others who were fantastic in this societal rubric. Now, of course, you understand that we can only think about one winner, and I can tell you that the debates in our boardroom were incredibly difficult, and we had many runners-up in this category. So thank you so much for your wonderful presentations, because I truly do think you have a bright way, and you will have a great deal of impact, all 3 of you, in this category, particularly. But to now move on, of course, because everyone's waiting for that, to the winner, let me say 3 positive things about that winning innovation. First of all, a very passionate presentation already on paper, also on the video, but particularly also now, with intrinsic motivation coming through everything this winner said. Second point, someone who's really done the research on the ground, having had impact, having had a lot of input from everyone involved. And third one, a very concrete application with a great deal of valorization, even expanding beyond the initial usage, as we heard to the answers of the question. So congratulations again to all 3. But can I now please announce as a winner, Miss Daisy Boatsman from Maze Hunter.
Yes, let's wait until the music has stopped. Yes. Any words you'd like to let me? This goes to her research, by the way, just so you know.
Yes, I'm so thankful for this prize and award. I didn't expect it. We have so great innovations pitched today here. I don't know what to say. I am really proud of this. I'm proud. I'd be honored to get this award, to show hopefully other children with dyslexia or other people and the belief you can achieve so much, and I hope we can achieve a lot in this world. And thank you for this award.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. 10,000 euros. Anyone? No, I'll bring it to your place. Where are you? Yeah, I'm good. Go ahead. Yeah, Titi, go ahead.
So the next award we're going to give is for environment. And because our 2 judges for environment could not be here today, and Anna Marie was definitely here listening to every bit of it. Through her, her input, along with the input from all the other judges, we selected one. It was hard because all 3 of them had a lot of merit, and so congratulations to all 3 of the company. So, not companies yet. innovations, okay? And I'm hoping that you all become companies, all right? And in place of Anna Marie, Ruben is going to come and present the winner for environment.
Thank you, Gigi. Yeah, I'm a bit of my comfort zone. I was selected for the category Society, but either way, it's a great opportunity to talk to the winner and the applicants of this contest. Yeah, I've been working almost 10 years now with a lot of offices of knowledge transfer, and I think it's especially for this category environment that we need to be grateful that these scientists put their day-to-day energy in helping actually our planet. So yeah, this is a very special category, and yeah, we had a hard time actually selecting the final winner. Because this winner, the narrative is very strongly related to the Dutch narrative of agriculture and efficiently processing the agricultural environment. But also the fact that it's so natural based on natural materials, and also there's such, yeah, we saw actually beauty in the symmetry how the application was set up. And of course, the emission, the lowering of the emission is very powerful in this application. So if you've been listening closely, you probably have guessed it already. The winner is Arnon Lesage with solar foil. Yeah.
Arnon Lesage. Congratulations. Anything you'd like to say? I hold your 10,000 euros, that's okay.
Yeah, well, I didn't really expect this. Yeah, of course, thank you. This is a great honor. I was really impressed with the other pitches, and I didn't really expect myself to win this. But yeah, I really hope that we can use this money and go on and make a company indeed, because that's the only way that this will, yeah, have a real impact. Yeah, thank you.
Arnon Lesage. Thank you. Thank you. And the final category, Gigi.
And the final category is health, which I think has really been on all of our minds this last couple of years. We've all had to really realize how precious it is. And so the innovators in this category are working for each of us human beings' well-being. And so all of the innovations we all felt were very, very valuable and strong. And in fact, with the health one, we actually had to have a face-off. A couple people had to, roll up their shirt sleeves and punch each other. So, but in a seriously, we chose one that we think is very powerful for the health sector, and I would like Raul to come and provide the answer to this one.
I still have my sleeves rolled up, as you can see. When you speak to investors these days, they will all tell you that they're doing something with impact. As a healthcare investor, I always have to smile about that, because every healthcare entrepreneur works on something that has a huge impact on society. It's baked into what we do. It was a difficult discussion because we've had 3 presenters who all worked on real problems that many of us can relate to, that we recognize as problems for ourselves, for our relatives, maybe and hopefully not so soon, but that will happen to all of us in the future. All of these ideas were also born out of science, comfort zone for many of the people in the room. But what was really important to see is that that science was translated to something that could have a real impact on a patient in a setting that could benefit them in such a way that you could also see it in a commercial setting. And when we want to see innovation, we want to see it implemented in society, that translation is critically important. So all 3 had that, but we had to pick a winner. And maybe in a couple of words, and I'm going to give it away in the first sentence, because what really impressed us is that we have a doctor here who walks around the ward, who has to make huge decisions about his patients on a day-to-day basis, makes decisions that have huge impact on the patients, on their families, but still is able to think about the simple things, about a simple, elegant idea that you can bring into practice and that you can use to make the healthcare system better. So the winner in this category is Tom Brouwer. Please join us there.
Thank you. Maybe a couple of words? What do you think?
Sure.
Yeah. Timer, no.
Thank you very much for this Innovation Award. I am very proud, and I want to thank our team sitting over here on the front row for helping me build a prototype out of my wild idea. And I'm very glad to see that as a result of this Innovation Award, not only winning this prize and the money, but also the attention is having a couple companies already interested in working with us to hopefully make this a reality and improve patient safety, but also reduce the workload for the nurses. So thank you very much.
Great. I would, thank you. I wanted, all the jury members have had a chance to come and share some of their knowledge and insights. And so one person that hasn't is Geert, who actually, after saving lives today, still came here to share his valuable time. And look up the Whipple surgery. It is one of the hardest things to do, ever. But I'd like Geert to say a few words about his impressions about what he thought, especially about the health companies.
Gigi. It's almost impossible. But I was really, really amazed about the skills that you guys have in pitching. I saw some real slick pitchers. And, but it's also about substance. It's about what's behind that slick pitch. And I always say to my researchers, stay curious, stay curious. But if I have to say something else, and I'm thinking about Tom, but also about the others, stay annoyed, stay angry. Because Tom showed that if you change this annoyance or angriness into a product, it can win you, not only win you awards, but the reason why Roel was chosen, he says this has market potential. And that makes it really interesting. About doing research is very nice, but research it's like l'art pour l'art, right? You're making research, making nice research to do research, but it's important to bring it into reality, and he's going to help you. And you all have to be applauded, because he said the majority of those pitches are we should be able to make companies out of them. So that's real big applause for all of you. Thank you so much for a tremendous day. Thank you so much.
I just want to make a comment, kind of building on what you just said, is you guys have innovations, all of the finalists, you have innovations, but continue to innovate, okay? And in order to have your product or what you're doing become a company and be viable, you can innovate also in business models. And some of you innovators don't want to think about making money, but if you bring in the money, you have the money to support your innovation to go to market. And so look for ways to innovate so that you can really ensure what you have there will grow, will survive, will be funded so it can help more people. So thank you very much. You're a great audience, and I'll turn it over to Simon.
Thank you. A warm applause to Gigi and the other jury members. Thank you. Thank you very much. Geert could have saved lives this afternoon, but this... No. Thank you all. Thanks finalists, thanks winners, thanks Impact Award winners for the tremendous work you've done. Thanks to all the organizations involved in this magnificent research and this prize. I think we all discover now how truly important and inspirational it can be, so that's great. Thanks for watching online as well. I would like to ask you, but it's hard to ask you actually because of one of the pitches, I'd like to invite you all into the museum cafe to have a limited amount of alcohol, or not, something else, but not too much at least.
We have a device that can cure you.
Yeah. Oh, that's not how you want to propose your device, by the way. So if you're at home, have your drinks at home, and otherwise go to the museum cafe, please. I would like to kindly invite the finalists, the jury, if you please, and the Impact Award winners to just stay put for a little bit for more pictures. So please, those people can come on here. And all of you, thanks a lot on behalf of the Amsterdam Science and Innovation Awards. And please find your way to the back into the museum cafe. Go ahead.